Welcome back, everybody. This this one is for those that joined us earlier today. This one is for those that joined us earlier today, this evening. So we are going to be checking. We are going to be checking this pair that we traded this evening. So I hope everybody's back to the pair that we analyzed, which was V25. As we all can see that it's moving and it's moving in our favor. Let me drag this stuff a little bit. If you cannot see it, let me know. So it's moving in our favor, which I said can you guys see it? Can you guys see this stuff? Because on the 24 hours, let me start from beginning. This was the pair I analyzed this evening, where we started from here. We first of all said that we first noticed that market entirely has been an uptrend, which we noticed a higher high here, a higher low, took our liquidity here, making here a new higher high, went down, took our liquidity here, making it a new lower low. So as we noticed that there's no other liquidity down here to be taken, market had to do a higher high. If you draw a trend line, remember trend line is always the key to this derived or synthetic. So you have to draw a trend line now. Because notice the market did a higher high, higher low. But since this can be considered as a consolidation or just a minor movement. So if you draw a trend line from this point to this point, you will see that this was a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. The market started dropping. If you draw a trend line from here now to this place, see that here, this point now was the new place market wanted to come. Then it took it like 4 days before market broke the trend. Let me draw the line so you all can see it. As you all can see, this place was the higher low, higher high. Market took a lot of days, like let's count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, which is like approximately 1 week. Then started making a move on the 7th day, which is a 1 week consolidations. Then went up, took out the previous liquidity, came to this point again. Did how many days consolidation? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This 5 days consolidation before selling. So if you had to check now, or draw your trend line, you see that from this point to this point to this point, market also did how many days consolidation before it broke out, showing us that before markets can come down to this particular point, that a lot of things might have happened. Is it that they are about to change the structure of this whole volatility 25, or it was meant to happen, but I'm not sure the market can ever come down to this point again or this point again as a new low. So market came here, did an up move. Then we now notice that this was a particular point where market started doing higher high. Then we now marked here as a new higher low. Here was the previous higher low, higher high. So this is now the new higher low, which made me have the confidence to draw my line from this particular low to this new low, straight to this particular place that we took our entry from. But let's not come to this one first. So after we noticed the higher high, higher low, the market came to this place too, did a higher high, but was not able to touch this particular place. This shows us that there's already a two structure that is happening in this stuff, that is happening in this volatility 25. Is it that here is a new higher low, leaving this? That was why I drew my trend line again from this particular, because all these trend line you draw, markets always respect them. If your trend lines are always correct, markets always respect it. So this was my new higher low. I drew my second trend line again from here to this place, straight. If you notice this particular second trend line, I notice the market played exactly in that move. But at this point, market came to this trend line, bounced off, but due to let me enlarge. But due to market was meant to buy from this particular zone. If you are following me well, because when some of these things happen is, let's take it that you draw your trend line now. Market went above the end, like you place your entry here now for a sell. The market took it out. You don't have to enter another trade again. You just have to wait for market to come back again and tap it. Like, I don't know how to explain this thing now, but those that do engineering know that if something happens and your probability is higher than the expectation, your stuff is higher than the expectation, you have to do it again. You have to come down and wait for market, for your stuff to be exactly that point that which you are told. So markets took liquidity here, and also might also take us out if you are to sell from here. That is why you have to wait again. If you are sure that this will be a sell, you have to wait for the second candle, or you have to wait for another stuff to give you valid consolidation confirmation that this is a sell by tapping it. Just a tap, just the same way it did in this green side. Market just tapped the trend line, gave a green spike. Market just tapped it, gave a big spike down. But at this point now, we notice that why this didn't obey this our stuff was that why this second trend line was not obeyed was that there was a mighty sell from this point, which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there had to be something that might have, there had to be liquidity that will be taken before something will happen. Like, let's take it now. This consolidation now, all these candles now formed because of they needed a spike, and some people like us now, or people that normally trade with trend line, might have entered from here with the hope that market will take out here. Market will come and take out liquidity, but market didn't do it. But rather it took everybody out, took here, and took those that might be thinking that here is an order block, or here is a anything I need to call it, took everybody out. then came back again, tap the line, because I know that as this kind opened that day, this particular candle as it opened, it started from this place up, tapped it, then sold massive to this point, then sold massive there, and then closed at this point, making it a new day for market to open again from that very low, spiking up because liquidity has been collected. So everybody now empowered, everybody's money was in this massive spike. So if you are to be a patient trader now, because for you to wait for this kind of trade to happen again, you have to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16 days, which is approximately 2 weeks and 2 days. So you see, a lot of patience is needed. That is why sometimes I will post, I don't have, like, market to always try to test my patience. Let me just follow market, all this kind of things I used to talk. So actually, to take like 2 weeks and 2 days for market to come back to that second trend line, because market always obeys it. Remember what I said, that if market if market disrespects your trend line, just wait for market. Market will surely come up, tap your trend line, take out liquidities. That one is for sure. That one is accurate. Like, I can bet on that. So market did this. You spiked up. You went up. You know, a market will always do shakarana. Did as if it was selling massive. Then started buying from that point. Took out this liquidity. Took out this previous liquidity that is failed to take out. Sold massively back to the first trend line drew. I don't know if you have any questions, but let me check if there's any question at all. No question. So what we should be expecting is we should be looking out for this trend line, because a lot might happen there. A lot might happen here because of the 1, 2. You see, market took out some liquidity here because of this spike. Came back again, just tapped the trend line, massive spike. So this line now, if market respects this line, you know that this line is an OG, like it's a very, very strong trend line, and anytime market comes back again, it's going to disrespect this trend line, so that a lot of people might lose their money. Then once the disrespect, maybe spike down, then come up again, touch the trend line, and start obeying it again. So let me reduce the time frame to the 4 hours time frame. So you guys can see why I drew this trend line, this particular fourth trend line now on the 24 hours, showing that market obeyed. Here was the first higher low. And if you also draw it, you see that these lines and these lines connect. 1, 2, 3. Like, everything connects. But I rather chose to draw it here because of the respect that the thing costs to this place. So I had to just leave it. So market came here. Market didn't tap here, because I always say that the way you draw this trend line, which is the first trend line I showed you, was that market have to tap the first one, and it have to be organized to tap the second one. As it is organized now, which tap this second one, market came here again, did some consolidations, especially for those that have big SLs. If your SL now was like, you entered from here, your SL to be here, like to cover this place, but you will not gain much because of market did not take any liquidity. But as we saw that there's something, maybe after next class I'll teach you why you have to obey this one. Whenever you see this kind of candle, whenever you see this kind of formation, you should know that the sell will be massive after like whenever I see this kind of setup, whenever I see this kind of candle formation, this 1, 2, just now once ever is tapping it again, that market will take out a lot of liquidities. That one is sure for what I've noticed. And as I've always told you guys, once market disrespects your trend line, it will come back again to tap it. And that tapping, from that point of tapping, it will sell massive. That one is sure, it's guaranteed. I don't know, but it's very sure. If you check this trend line again, market disrespected it, but immediately it came, it tapped it, it sold massive, took out liquidity, and also took out other liquidity. That was why this was disrespected. I don't know if you can hear me or is my voice clear. If it's not clear, let me know. If it's not clear, let me know. Can people hear me? Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Okay, it's clear. Alright, I'm hearing. So you guys know why I entered from this point. It was just I just said let me just show you people some skills that might be useful, because this trend line, and that is why sometimes you notice people, we have a lot of trend lines, and those people that just don't know how to use trend line will start laughing and saying that I don't know when forex became a work for architects or a work for designers, because if it was them now, they wouldn't see any reason. Even that are useless, what is call it? They wouldn't see any reason to enter a trade from here. Even that are useless support, which markets will just come, they will not put their entry from this point and cover here as SL. It does not make any sense. Like, see as I see this point now, straight, they would have missed their entry. They would have surely missed their entry. Market would have left them. But from this point now back to the history, which was back, you would notice that this was just a sweet trade. If we are earlier today, maybe by 6-7 today, like I normally used to post night trade because of I want to follow the candle. As if you follow this candle, this today's candle, because this alone was today's candle. As if we followed today's candle, we would have made a sniper from this particular point, and we wouldn't have been worried about SL. Like that when we entered this trade, this red candle almost came down like massively. But we wouldn't have been worried, because once we enter from here, we put our SL at this point. We just put our SL 20 pips, maybe 10 pips, because that is highest you can do, because you can't put your SL because of seeing something. Just put your S from here, put your entry here, put your SL here. Final market, if market respects it good, there will be massive profit, because that was a sniper entry. Well, we should be looking at on the 1 hour time frame now. If you remember what I said earlier today, that for those that normally used to do 1:4, this you guys right here, for those that came earlier, that once you play, that all of us will tap all market will tap all of us in, and you can do your 1:4 here. But for me, that normally used to do 1:7 because this one is my own personal 1:7. You can do your own personal stuff to this point. Reason is because of I say that formation of where you see maybe a big candle here, then you don't see small, then small one. I don't know if maybe I will have to upgrade and buy something that is writing, but market will come here, do one teeth, like tiger teeth formation, like 1, 2, 3, then come here. That which will make it easier for you to draw a trend line straight. But market didn't do it here, but rather market gave 1 year, which this one is higher than this. So I wouldn't consider this sell to hold that much. I will consider it because of if you take 1, 2, 3, market came here, sold massively, even though that this was not the actual place. This was not because market was intentionally coming to the first OG of the trend line. So I'm expecting market to come here, bounce, do some rebounds, do some, now market will have to play with some people that might be trying to sell from here. So the way where we should be looking at now is market will have to do some consolidations. Once market do some consolidations, I can bet you that market will do some consolidations, and this point now, this middle point is either market taps and sell, or market will just break it and bounce again on this previous, that second trend line will do that it and start making a new higher high. So for now, let's just know that we have made some money from this particular trade. Sweet money for those that enter, because the letter credited me with the 100,000 that I deposited this evening. Sorry, in the afternoon. So I went all in 100,000 with it. I reached 100,000 from here to here. When market was there, I was like on minus 70,000. When market was there, I was around minus 70,000. So by now would have been on massive profits or massive, everything is massive. So which pair should I? Let me just do some small trade. And the best time frame to make your setup, I can't really say the best time frame because for me, I normally use 24 hours. But if the 24 hours isn't giving me what I want, that is when I go to my MT5, which will now give me weeks, weekly hour, monthly hour. Now, for me, I just use 24 hours because of this is what the highest this chart derived can give you is 24 hours. But when I want to analyze more, because back then when I was a swing trader, very very strong swing trader, I'll use weekly and monthly and do a sniper entry, hold it for maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, then close out. That was when I was trying to, maybe if I deposit like $20, $30, I'll now do it, hold it. So that is when I use weekly and I'll go to my MT5. But for this particular one, I will use 24 hours. So let's start from the first. Let's just look for a setup now. A setup all of us can all take and have a good sleep. Let me explain this one because I know I dropped. I know I dropped this trade in the group, which we all made a profit, which all of us saw this spike Then we now had some consolidations. This alone, everything here was a consolidation. But I can bet you that markets will surely take profit. But you can see the sharp edges. One, the market was dangling. Me, I held it before I got taken out from this place. Came again, dangled again, took it out, spiked up, took out this liquidity, planned up taking out this one, but it didn't work. So we should be expecting. Let me check what will happen now. Okay. See why I wanted to sell. The reason was very clear. The reason was very clear because of this was the first trend line we had, or we have. I used there, and the trend line itself is not correct because it's not tapping each other, it's just there. Like this should be better. Yeah, this should be better. So and this should come here. This one will come here because this was a new higher low. Even though this one entirely now is a consolidation, is a new higher low. I'll take that as a new higher low. So this one now is also a consolidation. We have to check more on this pair because is it that we make money? You guys know why I always say that this kind of candle that will give you a tiger teeth shape, which is one, then form some jiggly, like a tiger. You know how tiger teeth is, it's small thing. Now it's always a sure stuff. So we should be expecting market to come to this point. And this point, let me put, we should be expecting to short the market from this point. Then your SL here to bounce back here. Because of there's an intersection here, markets have to. But truly this trade now, before tomorrow or today, this will hit TP without us because of these two sharp edges. So this one will hit here. Even though it will hit here, we have to wait, and because of markets, we have to disrespect this part. Go and respect this first trend line. Once you respect it, market will now come back. Then do this. That is why sometimes I will say sell limit, sell order. I will now put, there's one that they use called that even though you put a sell now and market taps it, market will not trigger it until it comes back, tap it again. Because there's an option for that one in MT5. So So market have to disrespect it, tap here, come back again, tap it, then come back and sell massive. That is what we should be expecting. That is what we should be expecting. But for now, we have to just take our loss and leave the market alone. This one, there is nothing here to see. It's just those that got in earlier that will profit from this. Only those that got in earlier. Are you still there? A lot of people might have slept off, but it doesn't matter. This one too, those that got in earlier are the ones that enjoyed it, because we have missed. The only one I did was N3, which all of us all had. All of us all saw when I posted this volatility 25. Only the buy. If you can remember that time I posted that buy stuff was, as I've always said, tiger teeth, like one, then do small tap. That will give you a very, very short stop that once market taps it, once market taps the trend, is going to buy. That one gave me the mind to buy from here and take profit as liquidity. You know, I always do liquidity, so I gave the liquidity. So this was now the new stuff now. This was the new. Let me delete this one because this one had nothing to do with. The same tiger stuff. But this one I didn't do it. So why you did this one, this, if you draw a trend line where if you tap it, this was what caused the massive sell. So you can see why I got taken out. So I market came nearly to this trend, but didn't obey it. So me now, the justice provider, liquid provider, the SF hunter, I say let me now short from here and put my essay here. Immediately market tapped it. I saw small profits. And I came back to this trend line again. Spikes. That was what caused the loss on this. Please, if you are here, let me know, so I won't waste my time. So this is another cell setup which I will send to the group. So I end the live here.